All right. Well, it's that time of the month where we have our friend Dave Brown from United Way back. Nice to see you, Dave.
Always a pleasure, David.
What's keeping you busy these days?
Well, we've got lots going on at the United Way office. We've got our audits going on because we're preparing for our annual general meeting at the end of the month. We're looking at getting new board members. We've got 4 vacancies, so we've got 4 recommendations, and of course, the fundraising has already begun. It's like it never ends anymore.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about some of that fundraising here. Let's dive right in. We've seen some things happening here. What are we taking a look at here?
Well, we're grateful to the Coffee Lodge. Your viewers will know that in February, I think it was February the 11th, was International Latte Group Day.
Yep.
So the Coffee Lodge at all locations donated $1 from every latte sold that day, and that added up to almost $1,000.
That's awesome.
So we're thrilled with that. And then, of course, Leo from the Coffee Lodge bumped that up, rounded it up to $1,000. So we're excited about that and recognize their generosity.
Yeah, for sure. And then this is somebody here from the Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah, I just wanted to help remind viewers where this money's going, including that $1,000. A large portion is going to our youth programs, such as the Boys and Girls Club, but also Rebound, Big Brothers and Big Sisters, school breakfast and nutrition program, and of course the youth resource houses provided by the YMCA in 3 different low-income neighborhoods.
Yeah, it's one thing about the United Way that I've always appreciated is it's very versatile. It's kind of covering all different types of demographics in there as well, right?
Absolutely. And this is a photograph here of the Walpole Island First Nations warming shelter, which is part of our From Poverty to Possibility, which actually has been getting a bigger slice of the pie in recent years, the whole poverty reduction piece. So the Walpole Island Warming Shelter is one example. Of course, we funded River City Vineyard. We're funding a program through the Good Shepherd, a couple of programs through Salvation Army, and there are others that are trying to help those people get out of poverty or to prevent themselves from sliding into that low-income cutoff as much as we can.
Yeah. It's nice that you're having that reach too. Like I think a lot of times we just say Sarnia, but it's really Lambton County area, right? Altogether.
That's right. We've got some programs that are run exclusively in the county, such as the Lambton Elderly Outreach. All of your viewers will know them as LEO, which provides Meals on Wheels and transportation services just in the county. And then we've got Opening Doors, which is actually a mental health program that is offered in rural Lambton as well as in Sarnia. So you're right. We're literally border to border to river in terms of our service funding.
Yeah. What are we looking at here? This looks like Red Cross.
This is the Red Cross, and of course we fund 2 programs with them as well. The Meals on Wheels program, which you see here, that's a volunteer getting his meals ready for delivery that particular day. And we do transportation services, but other seniors programming might also include our New Beginnings Stroke Recovery, which is seeing more and more young people. We almost hesitate to call that a seniors program anymore because unfortunately more and more people are getting having strokes and brain injuries. And the treatment for both those conditions are similar, and so they're seeing quite an increase in the need for their programs and services. That is also right here in Sarnia, but have clients from across Lambton County.
Yeah. Well, again, it's great to see how the money gets spread around. Let's shift gears here a little bit, Dave, and go to, you mentioned the board, and you're going to have some new board members coming on, or you're looking for, what's that?
We actually have 4 people who are leaving because in a couple of cases their tenure clock is up. I mean, we have a policy that you can only be on the board for a maximum of 10 years. So we've got a couple that their clock is coming up, and there's 1 or 2 next year as well. But then we'll also have some others who've gone on to other things, and remaining on our board might be a bit of a conflict of interest. And so we're all about transparency. So those individuals have stepped down, but are still going to be very involved in the United Way behind the scenes. So we're excited that even though we're losing them on the board, we're still maintaining their talents and what they bring to the table as well. So that's coming up. Our annual general meeting is the end of the month, when we will vote those new board members in. We have a new treasurer, Kathy Sitter. People may know her formerly as manager of Teppermans. So she has certainly a lot of skills to bring to the table. So we're excited about her officially regaining that title.
Yeah, great. And the board, of course, has a big part in the United Way, at least here in Sarnia-Lambton. And how do those decisions get made on, where the money goes and how to promote? And then you get into like social media do's and do nots, I suppose. There's got to be some tough decisions going along there.
It very much is. And we've got the staff and the board have a great working relationship. We very much are a governance board. We're structured corporately, whereby they set policy, and then it's the staff's responsibility to carry out that policy, and to, our goals are aligned, raising as much money as we can, as cost effectively as we can, and so on. But the board does make the big global decisions, not only just policy, but also, as you pointed out, who we fund and by how much. And that's actually a 3-step volunteer process. The allocations decision starts off with what we call review panels. And they agencies requesting money. And agencies can request money at any time around the year or for the regular funding in the fall. And this review panel of volunteers will review the agency to see if it's a good fit, to see if they have results, and if they are making an impact on people's lives in our community. And then they make the recommendation to what we call our community investment committee. And what they do is they take the money that's available, as well as the recommendations from that first volunteer group, and then try to massage it to see how we can spread our donated dollars as far as possible with the best return on our investment. Obviously, they take into account what the review panels think, but they also have to know how much money is available. And then they form that all together into a package and present that to our board of directors every January. And then that final 15 group board, they're the ones that make those final decisions. So it's quite a lengthy process. It's not something that I do. In fact, I don't even get a vote into that process.
Right.
But you're right. It's a difficult decision to make. But then as far as operating the United Way, then that would be my responsibility, with a lot of input from staff. As we mentioned previously on the show, there's just 5 of us in total. So we're very much a team. And we work as closely together as we can to make the best decisions going forward for the United Way and then for the community.
That brings a lot of transparency along with it too. I would imagine, the community wants to know where the dollars are going. Can people have access to, where things are being spread around and how decisions are being made?
Absolutely. In fact, I'm pleased that you asked that question, because transparency is a big deal for the United Way and for our board and staff. So donors or anybody in the community can take a look at our website at www.theunitedway.on.ca, as you've got posted there. And right on the front page, when you scroll down a little bit, you'll see all of the agency allocations that begin April 1st. We make our decisions in January, and the funding decisions start taking place April 1st until March 31st the next year. That's kind of the cycle. So they're all there. Plus, we have an agency directory that outlines who the key contacts are at each of the agencies, as well as, again, how much they're being allocated, and specifically for what programs that those investments are going towards. We also have all of our complete audited financial statements on our line, or on our on our website. Just click on who we are or About United Way and scroll down. You'll see, I think, the last 15 or 20 years there, so you can see any trends. We also post our annual report, just a summary of those financial statements. And we encourage anybody, if they have any questions, to send us an email or text us, and I'm happy to provide any further information that they may want.
Yeah, it's fantastic because, I think everybody just wants to know, where's my money going when I make a donation. And,
That's right.
you've really made it. There's a lot of convenient ways to donate and support the United Way. Well, let's talk about the March Madness. March Bagel Madness is happening right now.
This is something we brought back from 2 years ago, and we're thrilled that the Bagel Factory has partnered with us again. In March 2 years ago, we sold over 1,300 dozen bagels, and so we're hoping that we're going to get close to that again this year. So as your viewers probably know, the Bagel Factory is donating $1 from every dozen bagels sold the entire month. And so we're excited about that. We've had some Facebook videos, and so we're promoting that as best we can. I understand the first 10 days was quite busy at the Bagel Factory, so we're excited about that. So hopefully the next 20 are. And so we just want to thank the Bagel Factory. Their staff are fantastic at really promoting that. And, of course, the customers that have popped in and bought bagels already this month. And there's a picture of Vicky Ducharme, our campaign chair. She was there on March 1st picking up a dozen bagels to take home. And I should point out, your viewers may or may not know that they freeze really well. A little home hack that I like to promote is I take them home when they're nice and fresh. I cut them in half, and then I freeze them. You stack them in the bags that they provide at the Bagel Factory, back to front, so they're easy just to snap off half a bagel or two bagels, throw them right in the toaster, or leave them on the counter for an hour or two, and they'll thaw right, and they're just as fresh as the day you bought them.
It's great that you've got a lot of that community support going on. It seems like more and more businesses are stepping forward and saying, what can we do to help promote? And then, the other side of that coin too is like, like you mentioned, Facebook Live. Like, you're there, Dave. I'm really proud of you for getting in front of the camera and doing your Facebook Lives and sharing with the community to be able to support all the services that United Way provides.
Well, I'm glad I took your advice, and your advice was excellent, which was to do more of that. And I noticed my first Facebook Live had 2,000 views. I'm shocked at that, but 2,000 views. And then the one that I just did on Friday, I think already has 300 or 400. So I'm thrilled with that advice. I'm glad I took it. I'm glad I've got you as a friend to help promote that. And you're right. I mean, we've always said that United Way is funding local programs and services. So what better partner than local businesses to help promote? So we can promote each other. It's a win-win. And we've got more coming up later in 2023 that I can't wait to talk about.
Right on. So there's a needs target that is set. What is that number looking like? Well,
we always announce, we set that goal typically in June at the June board meeting, and I can't remember the date. I think it's the third Monday in June, and then we typically announce it in August. We hold back a little bit just to make sure there's nothing unforeseen that should happen. But typically that goal is set by the board in June and then announced in early August. So I'm not sure what it is. We're still kind of analyzing what we did last year. We do know that there's some good numbers, even though we didn't raise as much as we had hoped. We had a lot of brand new donors last year. A lot of donors increased their donations significantly last year. And out of that, we've got a lot of employee campaigns that want to get started earlier. And we know CF Industries, for example, is already doing a grab-and-go lunch for us down at their Courtright plant. I know others that are looking at doing some events earlier in the year than they had in past years. So I think that's setting a really solid foundation for not only 2023, but for going forward.
Very good. Well, anything else we can share before I let you get back to your busy day? I know you got a lot going on, but what else do the viewers need to know about United Way?
Well, just two quick things. We've got we're bringing back the Global Donut Day with United Way. That is going to be Wednesday, October 26th, I believe. It's the last Wednesday in April. We did $1,600 at that event, so we're hoping to match that. So that's so that's just kind of a heads up for your viewers. And then I heard off the record that Enbridge is going to bring back their car show again in September. And it's going to be bigger and better than last year. So I look forward to talking to you in more details and when that's public.
I had a lot of fun with that. I was glad to be out there, and I flew the drone around and talked to the Enbridge, the pilot of the helicopter there, and Mother Nature really cooperated that day. So I'm really hoping that why wouldn't they bring that back? Of course they're going to bring that back. So that's good news.
Absolutely. Thank
Dave
you.
Brown, thank you so much for joining me and giving us an update of what's happening at the United Way.
Always a pleasure being on the show, David. Thank you.
Take care.